Welcome into the video, welcome into the channel. Hope everybody's doing well out there. And I thought I would be a little bit more excited doing my first video here with what you're looking at. Let's introduce the components in case you're new. The display you're looking at on an angle here is a 77-inch LG G4. You can see right there in front of it on the right, it's the PlayStation 5 Pro, and just for dramatic effect, I included the PS5 Pro box, just for the hell of it. All right, I had a little bit of fun with the title of the video here, and I'm gonna go ahead and let you know that I've been spending some time here with the PS5 Pro on the G4, and the title of my video doesn't have to do with how I feel the console and the display performs. The title of the video and the fun with that has to do with the smell. And before you click off this video thinking I'm some weirdo, why does it matter how your console smells? Let me break it down. So, very first thing I did was I unboxed it, of course, and I went ahead and transferred over my SSD. Shout out to Sony, a big W there, that you could just move if you have all your games on an SSD that you purchased externally. Shout out to Sony for making that such an easy way to move your games over. So I just pulled the SSD that I've had in the OG PS5 and just swapped it right into this console before I even powered it up for the first time. And the games, especially the main games that I play consistently, were already loaded up. I didn't have to spend a lot of time downloading the games from the cloud or whatever. So really cool thing there. But I noticed something right away. So I powered the console up, started hopping in, going into the various games, checking out the game menus and the settings to see the PS5 Pro Enhanced or whatever they're calling it. And I picked up an odor that was coming from the console. And I said, well, I thought maybe that's just brand new electronics. It's heating up for the first time. It gets really hot inside the console. Brand new anything, if you're a car person, when you have aftermarket exhaust put on, especially something like headers on a V8, you're gonna pick up a distinct smell for that first little bit after it fires up and gets hot for the first time. I thought that's what I was dealing with here, but that is not the case. And just to kind of let you know how I normally would want to have this console oriented, whether this is forbidden or not, I prefer to have this console like my original PS5 in a horizontal position, right where it's standing now on that little cheap ass TV stand thing I have sitting in front of the display. And that's what I did. I put it horizontal. I had the little cheap plastic feet thing that comes with it. That's a topic for another video on how I feel about a $700 console coming with that as a horizontal stand. But I fired everything up, I start gaming, and I'm picking up this odor. And I'm trying to figure out, okay, first of all, where is it coming from on the console to see if I can kind of limit the possibilities of what it could be. But then I thought, well, maybe there's something about it being in the horizontal position. Let me go ahead and relocate it to another spot here in the room where I can stand it up vertically. So that's what I did. I moved it over to the left just off of your screen, and sure enough, I can still smell it. And it's a very strong odor. And the way I would describe it is it kind of smells like either some sort of thermal paste inside the console that's part of the cooling element to it. And if that's what it is, if it's thermal paste that's getting hot and it just has some sort of chemical in it that just causes an odor, and that's just how it's gonna be, it kind of is what it is. And I suppose that the paste that's doing its job in cooling it, right? The console's quiet, it doesn't feel overly hot after a longer session, but the odor is concerning because I don't know if this is normal. I don't know if it's safe. In other words, right now I have the door closed in this room because I just don't want the distraction of our pets roaming around making noise during the video. But I gotta tell you, right now, I would not feel comfortable gaming for 30 minutes or an hour on this console and this display with the door closed, with this odor permeating the entire room. To this point of gaming, I always leave the door open. That way, at least there's some ventilation, but this odor will creep into the hallway and the rest of the house. I don't know if this is safe. And so I'm bringing you this video to tell you about this smell that's coming only when the console's on. It's like I could pick up the console when it's been off and it's cooled off, and I don't smell it. Okay, this is why when I unboxed it, I didn't know anything was different. But once the console's on, like it is right now, I'm on a game, I can smell it strongly right now. And it's not like a smell that makes me want to puke, okay? It's not like that. It's just a smell that's distinct, it's definitely there, and it just kind of smells like either a burning paste, it's hot, a chemical in there, a component in there that has some sort of chemical on a wire that when it gets hot, it permeates a smell. I don't know what it is, but it's an annoying smell, and I really feel like this shouldn't be normal. I feel like this is not how Sony intended this. But I want you to leave me some comments if I'm wrong on that, and this is just the byproduct, this is just the side, you know, whatever, to, okay, you got the upgraded components in the console, you got the better performance, all that. You're just gonna have to deal with it having a component in there that's gonna smell. Then I'll have to make a decision on whether I feel like it's right to keep the console or not, period. But I do wanna say that I originally thought that the issue was coming from the Adidas stripe that's going across the front there. I thought for a minute that the smell was something in that striping was getting hot. But after further inspection, I believe the smell is permeating from somewhere around the power supply down there at the bottom. Because moments ago, I gamed with it in the vertical position, and I decided to shoot this video, so I went ahead and unplugged everything, and while it was still hot, just after turning it off, I picked it up and I was just smelling around the console, which sounds so weird for me to even to admit, but I really would like to get to the bottom of where this smell is coming from and if it's normal. So I'm smelling the Adidas stripe there in the front, and I'm like, well, maybe it's coming from there, but the strongest hint is coming from the back of the console just above or on the power supply where you plug in your power cable. And that makes me wonder, is it something in the power supply itself? This is what I would call a launch, air quotes, launch edition console. At the end of September, I believe, when PlayStation Direct opened up the PS5 Pro for pre-ordering, I was one of the people that hopped into the queue. And, you know, I wasn't necessarily aiming at the 30th anniversary PS5 console. My objective was just to pre-order the PS5 console. If the 30th anniversary was there because of the rarity, I would have bought that one. But of course, I'm not a bot. And by the time I got in there, the 30th anniversary PS5 Pro was already sold out. So I just picked up this one. That was my main objective anyway. So on the box, there's actually, and I may show you a close-up. I really just don't feel like moving the camera from where it is. But there's actually an official PlayStation sticker that goes over the top of the lid, okay? One thing I've noticed is that I went into Best Buy on launch day just for the hell of it. They had a PS5 sitting there. So I said, hey, can I just look at the box real quick? And I looked, that same official PlayStation sticker, okay, was not sitting over the lid where you unbox it. And I thought that was interesting. So there's something different about this PS5 in that it was pre-ordered. When the pre-orders opened up, it came directly from PlayStation Direct. It had the official sticker. I'm wondering, those of you that got your PS5 Pro from Amazon, Best Buy, GameStop, that probably didn't have that official sticker, do you have this smell? I wonder if this smell has something to do with like the specific lineup of production and where it came from. I'd love to hear in the comments if I'm just way off base there, because at the end of the day, I'm trying to make a decision on whether I want to keep this console or not. From a performance standpoint, just from gaming itself, I'm loving this console so far, and I'm not regretting the $700 price tag that came with it at all, because I'm a console gamer. I don't game on PC at all. Yes, I know PCs can be built to perform better than this, but not at the same price, right? Topic for another video, side piece there. But I'm not regretting the purchase at all from what I'm getting in performance-wise, but I'm sure as hell regretting the purchase with this smell. So I'd love for the community to leave me some comments. Do you have a smell? Do you feel like it's unsafe? What are your thoughts? Did you get your, for those of you that don't have the smell, did you get your Pro console from another outlet besides PlayStation Direct? I need to see all this in the chat, because I'm really at a crossroads here on what I'm gonna do with this specific console. I am so tempted to disconnect it, erase my stuff off of it, and send it back to PlayStation Direct. I am so close to doing that. My fear is that I'm gonna do all that stuff and the smell will eventually go away or wear off, and maybe I just jump the gun a little bit too quick and I will have done all that for nothing. Or I do all that, I go to my local Best Buy or another outlet, I buy another PS5 Pro console and it has the exact same issue. At that point it won't have been worth doing any of that if they all have this. So I can tell you, I've looked a little bit around YouTube and I haven't seen anybody else talking about this issue. So that's what makes me wonder, that I just get some sort of defective unit and this is bad, like this is not good and I need to get rid of it? Or is it just something that the normal PS5 or electronics reviewers out there are just not bringing up because they don't find it important, or maybe they don't notice it as much? I don't know. I promise I have some fun content coming, especially if I keep this Pro console. I want to do some settings videos here with my G4 and the Pro console to show you how I have things dialed in. So that's going to wrap up this video. Please leave me some comments below, whether you have the smell or you don't, whether you feel like it's normal. I want to know your feedback on it because I am concerned, not just for myself safety-wise and health-wise, but my family too. Leave me some comments. If you enjoyed the video, you enjoyed my channel, hit the like button so this gets circulated out. Hopefully more people see it and can chime in. If you're not subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell. I have a lot of content coming with this G4 display, with the PS5 Pro console. Hopefully this problem goes away. But if not, I may get another one, or I might bring you some different content, whatever. Hit subscribe and hit the bell. With all that being said, until the next one.